I had to get a video of this place. This place, one of my favorite views for like a little road trip with the cars. And so thanks for clicking on this video. I hope you guys enjoy. In today's video, I'm going to be going over why you shouldn't meet your heroes. And with that, a lot of the stuff about my Mk4 Supra in particular that I don't like, that bothers me. Some stuff's bigger, some stuff's little, some stuff I could fix, some stuff it's just the way that it is. But yeah, we'll get into it. This is my 1997 Toyota Supra SZR. The SZR, what that means is it means non-turbo, but this specific model has the 6-speed Getrag from the turbo cars. This is a V161. Picked it up in Florida. It has a ton of miles on it. It's 340,000 kilometers. It's like 210,000 miles, 212,000 miles. But the car looks great. I've been putting a lot of money into it, fixing it up, kind of restoring it a little bit, and it's going to be getting a 2JZ GTE swap soon, hopefully over the winter in the next spring. How's it going, guys? IW here. I wanted to make a video on why you shouldn't meet your heroes sometimes. So to start off with, it's going to be a little bit of me complaining. Something that a lot of people don't tell you about these cars is they're expensive. You know that they're expensive to buy, they're hard to find and stuff like that. That's kind of why they're expensive. But the parts, it's so hard to find parts for it. And that being the case, the parts that you do find are very expensive because not very many people are parting these cars out. Toyota doesn't make these parts, a lot of these parts anymore. So it's just very expensive to find certain parts. Like trims on the left-hand drive cars, like the interior trim. Like, let me just show you. There's people just selling this stuff for ridiculous money on eBay, and it kind of just makes me hate the car because, like, what happens if you take your friends for a ride and they kick it and just break thousands of dollars worth of plastic just so easy? Same with door panels. Door panels are super hard to find, in good shape, and super expensive. There was a guy on Facebook yesterday that was offering $5,000 for brand new or mint door panels, which is nuts. And my dash is kind of warped, so to try to find a right-hand drive dash, good luck. That's impossible. So parts are expensive and parts are hard to find, and usually if you do find them, they're going to be expensive. So that's just something to take with owning a Mk4 Supra. Another issue about the car itself, this specific car, maybe not every Supra that you find, but this specific car, is it had rust, a little bit of surface rust up in here whenever I got it. So I took it to a body guy. He was supposed to be a really good guy, and to paint it, but it's got these little like dirt spots of dirt in it, like these little tiny bumps. You probably can't see it on the video, but it's got little tiny imperfections in the paint. I need to wet sand it and see if it fixes it, but it is what it is. There's also like this run looking thing here that you can see, but I mean, it's just me being picky. I need to just wet sand it and then deal with it. It is what it is. It's an old car, and I'm gonna drive the thing. It's not gonna be perfect. One thing that kind of gets old, it's cool, and it's cool when like kids are like, hey, nice car and stuff, but it kind of gets old is whenever you have this thing out and somebody always wants to come up and talk to you. I'm kind of a shy person, so I don't like to just talk to random people. I say that as I'm talking to a camera, walking around my car in a parking lot. But yeah, I don't like when people always come up to me and talk to me about my cars when I want to go somewhere, like if I'm trying to get something done. So you really couldn't use this car for that. When you take this car out, you just got to be willing to talk to people. And I mean, that's kind of cool and stuff, but it does get old. Another thing with these cars, they're all old. They're all 25 years old or older. The 93s are starting to get close to being 30 years old. No, they are 30. 31, wow. So that's just crazy. But anyway, the bushings on these cars, the bushings go bad, the brake lines go bad. Rust, you'll have to deal with rust issues on some of these, depending on where the cars came from and how they were treated. There's a C8. Onto the interior, there are two things that I hate. One was my fault. I put this radio in it, and I think it's because a little bit because the dash is warped. This panel don't set right, so the radio kind of sets in there. It sets too far back, you can see, and it leaves this gap. that just really bothers me for some reason, and I don't know why. Like, I'm not sure how to fix that. I'm going to try to get a Sony XAV 1500 or something, 150 maybe, and they set out a little farther, so hopefully that it'll take the gap away. I just need to find one that has Android Auto. You see the dash warping. And then the second thing that I really hate about this car is the seat belt. The driver's side seat belt. It doesn't retract very well. Sometimes it does a little bit, but for the most part, it doesn't really retract, and it's all bad looking. There's a company that they say they'll re-spring it, and they don't. I've seen a bunch of people on Facebook talk about it. They're like, it doesn't fix it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm hoping Toyota comes out with new seat belts, but they might not, so I might have to go with either harnesses, or I might do this. There's like an upgrade a guy on eBay has to where he uses different seat belts, and then you have to change the buckle down here too. So I might just do that, because this buckle looks old and stuff, so we might just do that just to get a good, nice working seat belt again. Something else I don't like about this car, it just seems like something breaks all the time. Every time you take it out, you hear a new issue, something you got to look for, a problem you got to fix, and maybe it's just me not being cut out for old cars. I love these cars, these are my dream cars, but I just get so tired of these old cars, just constantly having problems. Like this thing, when you go to back up for the first time, it clicks. And when you go to pull forward, sometimes it just clicks. It has this weird click to it. The car also has like a weird vibration. Like the motor seems like it has a lot of vibration to it, and I'm not sure why. So yeah, like I said, a lot of these flaws, they're not major things. Some of them are just me being picky with my car specifically. I don't see these issues on other people's cars. Other people's cars look great, but it's just some things that I don't like about the car. Last thing about the car before we head out is it's boring. This car is so boring to drive. My Mk4 Supra makes turbo noises and it's fun to drive, makes a little bit more power. And the FD's just handles amazing, so it's real fun to drive. This thing is so boring to drive. It doesn't make any cool sounds, it's not fast, but hopefully we'll be fixing that soon with a 2JZ GTE swap. If you guys want to see videos of that swap, let me know and I'll take some videos of that. The core of why I don't like this car is right here. It's non-turbo. I couldn't afford a turbo one, not gonna lie. So I ended up buying a non-turbo 6-speed, and with plans to swap in a GTE. And that's why I don't like this car. It's part of the reason is it's just the boring motor. After I get the motor swapped, hopefully the car will change a lot and I'll enjoy the car more. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about why I don't think you should meet your heroes sometimes. This was the Mk4 Supra. I always dreamed of owning this car, and once I got it, I just saw a bunch of little issues with it, and it kind of ruined the experience a little bit, but maybe you shouldn't always meet your heroes. To add to that, you never know until you own the car. I wouldn't have known, and I'm glad that I at least know now that I don't really enjoy the car as much as I thought I would. Thought this was kind of funny. I keep my old Japanese cars in a heated and cooled shop, and this guy right up here underneath this red cover has a Lamborghini Gallardo that he just leaves outside. If you guys want to see me do a video on things that I love about my Supra, just let me know. Always looking for your guys' feedback. The thing just looks amazing sitting here. So it's not all bad stuff. It's just there are some things that you don't know until you drive the car or you own the car that kind of annoy you about owning the car. I mean, maybe that's just me, but